have to stay in hospital all the time. I'm away from my kids. He can't go to school. Right now, he can't walk.
In a humble neighborhood along Nairobi's Thika Road, we meet Beatrice Okoth, a young mother whose son is suffering from leukemia. She tells us that her son, Lenin Zulu, was 3.5 years old when he was first diagnosed with leukemia. This is a type of blood cancer that affects children.
Initially, there were no signs, but eventually he had this sign of limping. He started limping, and then eventually he stopped walking.
And 5 years down the line, this young, cheerful boy is still battling hard to live. We meet Lenin at home. He's playing computer games to keep busy. Lenin, a second born in a family of 4, suffered a relapse of leukemia in December last year, 6 months after doctors declared him cancer-free. He had received chemo and radiotherapy treatment at a hospital in Italy for 1 year in 2010. He was supposed to undergo a bone marrow transplant but could not get a matching donor. After that, he came back to the country and continued with therapy at the Aga Khan Hospital until June last year.
He went to Aga Khan for almost 1.5 months, from December to January. He was just released the other day, and the bill came to 1.2. Meanwhile, we were waiting to get a visa to go back to Italy. So meanwhile, he goes for checking of the wounds after every 48 hours and chemotherapy, a low dose of chemotherapy after every 1 week, once a week. So like on Monday, we are going for chemotherapy.
Lenin has become weak and cannot walk. He has to be carried everywhere. He also has to wear a mask every time because of his low immunity. If he's not the one in a mask, the rest of the family has to be in one. Lenin's illness has also completely changed the family's lifestyle.
It's like almost everything has stopped. There's this separation of family because we have to stay in hospital all the time. I'm away from my kids. He can't go to school. Right now, he can't walk. Yeah. So I have to carry him everywhere. To the toilet, everywhere. Yeah. And I closed my business. Yeah, so.
He's still undergoing chemotherapy once a week as they source for funds to go back to Italy because they can't afford treatment here. They also hope to get a bone marrow donor while there.
Since the insurance cannot cover that anymore, we have exhausted all the money for insurance. It means we deliver cash. It's very expensive and we can't afford it, but there we have a sponsor because, for instance, from December 23rd to last week, the bill came to 1.2. So imagine us taking a whole year of chemotherapy, how much would it cost? Something like over 10 million. I wanted to appeal for help for the air ticket and maybe for our stay there. Not the medical, whatever. Yeah.
Due to his illness, Lenin attended his first ever class in second term of last year. He joined Standard 2 at Garden Estate Academy.
I was a bit behind, but because of the eagerness and hard work, Lenin really worked. And by the end of second term, he had attained 400 in his grade. So we continued like that. We had sports that term. Lenin surprised us because despite the fact that we were having a bit of fear here and there that he would not perform, he did all the games as we were doing, and even he emerged position 3, I think in 2 of them, and even got 2 medals. So by the end of the term, he had, there was racing, and also I think the other one was treasure searching, and he searched and he became number 3.
At his school, we find his classmates leaving for the day. Lenin's best friend, Michael, misses him.
I want him to come to school because I want to learn together. I really miss playing with him.
Our only prayer now is that Lenin gets better He has been doing anything a normal child would do. We had taekwondo classes, and the most amazing thing is that he joined the taekwondo and he was able even to do the drills, and he was able to perform them to perfection. We were thinking this year he might be among those who will be chosen to represent our school in case there are any competitions for that particular club. We closed the school fine, he was fine. You can imagine our shock when we were told that he was in hospital. He could not walk, he could not feed himself. By that time, it has not been easy even for us, because we have walked the walk with the mother, and it has not been easy. Even now, as I talk about him, I feel sad, because nobody would like to be sick. So I want him a quick recovery, and I know with God's help and prayer, Renin is going to get better.
Statistics indicate that leukemia accounts for about 25% of all childhood cancers. 60% of children have a type of leukemia known as acute lymphocytic leukemia, which Lenin suffers.